Board of Public Works Committee of the City of Oconto. Notice of the meeting was given to the public at least 24 hours prior to the meeting by forwarding the complete agenda to the Oconto County Reporter. Copies of the complete agenda were available for inspection at the office of the City Administrator. Roll call, please.
Mayor Panetti, Darrell Anderson.
Here.
Steve Stock.
Here.
Gene Young. Mike Felt.
Here.
John Whitcup.
Here.
And Elmer.
Here.
Okay. Number 3, I need a motion for approval of agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Steve,
Second.
seconded by Johnny. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the July 17th, 2023 meeting minutes.
I'll move.
Moved by Mike, seconded by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public input?
Good afternoon. Sorry I have to record this. Meeting minutes from the last meeting are wildly inaccurate, so I feel like I need to do this for my own good. I did get my letter today from the city about the wood in my yard. I'm happy to report that that is partially done. The wood is cut up and needs to be stacked. The other pile of wood does need to be stacked yet, but will be completed before the 10-day limit is up. So I just want to let you know that. As far as the wildflowers in my yard, I know that's been a point of contention. I feel as if until you can tell me the exact ordinance that those flowers are breaking and the exact verbiage in the ordinance that those flowers are breaking, I feel like that is a done issue. And I'm putting it behind me because I feel as if they are flowers and I'm growing flowers. And there's nothing in the ordinance that states I can't grow flowers. So until the city can provide the precise ordinance and the verbiage in that ordinance that tells me I can't grow flowers in my yard, I'm going to consider this issue done. And any further coming after me further, but it's going to be harassment at this point. Is my thought. So that's where I'm at on that. If you guys can provide me the very specific ordinance and the verbiage in that ordinance that tells me I can't grow flowers in my yard, I'm going to grow flowers in my yard. But I am going to take care of the wood. I do thank you for including the firewood ordinance. That does include that I can stack that wood up against my fence and as high as the fence. And that is well within ordinance. So I don't want anyone coming after me for where my wood is stacked in my yard, because I can stack it anywhere in my yard according to the ordinance. Against the fence, as high as the fence. So there's that. There's some things from the last meeting that I'd like to bring up, particularly in the meeting minutes. That the property owner said that Helnor visited the property and made suggestions include cleaning up the brush piles and wood stacks, as well as insisting on weeding around the trees. That is not what occurred on that day. Ben came to my house and he checked off and said that I was compliant on the day of that meeting. And these meeting minutes do not reflect that. Although it was discussed and it was all agreed that while I was going to be put on some kind of watch list, that on that very day I was compliant. And these meeting minutes do not reflect that. And that's very disturbing as a citizen, that public servants aren't doing their due diligence in writing these minutes down. There was a mention that I had no landscaping plan, so that was an ordinance violation. The best I could find, that a landscaping plan is required, zoning requirements in highway, commercial, and general industry districts, and does not apply to residential. So I'm getting ordinances thrown at me by a representative of the city that don't apply to my situation. That is also somewhat alarming that that would happen. So that's that. I will get the wood cleaned up. I want to come here and tell it to all you guys. I'm going to consider the wildflower, me growing geraniums in my yard. It's a done issue, and I don't want to be harassed about it anymore, because there's nothing in the ordinance that says I can't grow flowers. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't need to have an edge. It's compliant, and I hope that you can look at the ordinance and make an unbiased decision with the evidence that you have from looking at my yard and the verbiage that's in the ordinance. So I'm going to ask that that is a done issue. I will continue to mow my lawn, of course, as I always have, and I will continue to trim around those trees. But I'm hoping that this is done between us. All right. And the last thing, I know this really is kind of off point, but I've been made to look like I'm some kind of monster, and I want you to see what my neighbor had in her windows. This is what my stepdaughter got to look at every morning when she woke up and looked out of her room. She got to see that giant middle finger sticking at our house and those pleasantries. Now, it's not illegal. Well, there actually might be an ordinance against decency, but I just want everyone to know that this isn't a one-sided deal. If that's not coming at me, I don't know what is. So I just wanted you guys to see that also. And that's about all I have to say.
And your 5 minutes is up, so.
Thank you very much for your time.